Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, brother?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abid, can you hear me? Hello, Abid.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Can you hear me, Abid?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on, man.
I can hear Abisar.
Abid, can you hear me? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. Can somebody say something? Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Abid, can you hear me? This is Javed.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum Javed bhai. I just got yeah, abhi fix ho gaya. It's fixed.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Walaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, we're gonna start soon. Let's just give a couple of minutes to everyone.
Abid, can I ask you a general question while we are waiting for other people?
Yeah.
Surah Nuh, it starts with Inna arsalna Nuhan ala qawmihi. Okay? That we send Nuh to his qawm.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it says Litunra qawmuka. So why all of a sudden it changes from qawmuka, which means it's understood that Allah is telling Nuh that he should warn his nation. But why your nation? Why not his nation? It's the first ayah of Surah Nuh.
Yeah, I have it here. Let me share the screen.
Maybe this is a style of Arabic style we are talking, because when we are talking and we're talking in third person, we continue to talk in third person. When we're talking in second person, we continue to do that in second person. That is what my question is.
Inna arsalna Nuhan ila qawmihi
his people.
Anzira qawmika min qabli an yatiyahum azabun alim. So indeed we have sent Nuh to his people so that you warn from before that comes to you them a punishment. So you warn them. Indeed we sent Nuh to his people saying, you see that bracket?
Yes,
do you see my screen?
Yeah.
See it when they are translating in plain English, they're saying here, indeed we send Noah to his people saying, like we are talking to Nuh, that when your people warn your people before there comes to them a painful punishment.
So this is exactly my question. This saying is kept in parentheses is not in Arabic text, but it is kind of understood. Like it is. How do you? I mean, we know logically we can say yes, it is right.
As you said, it's the style of the Quran. Is the style of the Quran. And again, what I can understand from this verse, that Allah is telling Nuh that you go, you warn your people.
Exactly, but it doesn't say "Kul no anzir qawmuka." It doesn't say like that. It's anzir, that you warn your. So
Anzir,
when you say you
again,
warn,
anzir is a fi'l amr. Fi'l amr is a command. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding Nuh that we are saying go and warn your people.
No, Allah is saying that you
warn your people,
your nation.
Yeah.
But then your here Nuh understood. I mean, it's not clear that it is Allah saying this statement to Nuh, or to he's saying to anybody else. Or Muka, that you warn your nation. So, but it doesn't say that Nuh, you warn your nation. That's my thing. But maybe that's the way Arabic style is.
Inshallah,
Okay.
we'll get to that
Inshallah.
level, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Wayakum. Okay, so I have few people here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Now we didn't realize that Monday is going to be the holiday. We forgot, and nobody said that, oh, you know what, we should take a day off. So I usually don't like to take any days off. So I'm just trying to explain that if some of you are having a hard time coming to the class tonight thinking that, hey, it was a day off, maybe we should have taken day off. Second thing is tomorrow, I think school is starting, or in a day or two, school is starting for the children. So it could be the last day of like vacation and stuff. So I'm sorry that I made you come today. Okay.
No problem. It's good. Yeah, we try to
Okay,
keep
good.
it on Monday.
If you're happy, then it shows.
It's
Sorry?
fine. Alhamdulillah, it's good.
Good. Because if you guys are happy, that means, mashallah, that, you know, your iman is keeping you going and you really want it, looking forward for this. Okay, so today I have, mashallah, a very interesting class as usual. It all depends on how much you have absorbed from the last session. So today will be sort of a review plus some new stuff, inshallah. So are we ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so
Bismillah,
let
bismillah.
me switch over to my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so where is my screen here? New share. And can you guys see my camera now?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Mhm.
All right. So most of you by now, if you have understood this pattern system, then we should know the answer right away. Okay. So what I have done behind the scenes, I have written some words. So for example, ja'ala, right? What is it? Is it a madi or mudare?
Madi.
See.
Madi, very good job. Now, what was the rule that in madi, when this is ja'ala, how many variations we can have in mudare?
3, 6.
6.
No. When is 6, yes, that is in total. But when is ja'ala or fa'ala, what are the 3 different combinations in mudare?
Ja'ala,
Ja'ala,
Ja'ula,
Ja'ula, and Ja'ila.
Ja'ila.
Okay, perfect. So three variations, right?
Yep.
So now this is not a true test. I'm actually giving out a lot of information. I've already written down the madi. I've written down the mudare. I'm also telling you what bab I'm talking about. So this is bab. So if this pattern is giving to you, and this is bab fataha, I did not intentionally put the haraka on the ain. So what will be the haraka on the ain?
Ja'ala, Yajala, Yajalu.
Okay, one thing, make up your mind and tell me what is going to be.
Yalla, Fatah.
Fatah.
Fatha. Okay, why? Because we know that when it's ba fataha, it is supposed to have fatha on the ain letter. Is everybody clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now I think it's a good idea to do practice by Sister Omema. Are you saying something?
No.
Okay, but my next question is to you then. Are you ready, or you think you're not ready?
Let's give it a try.
Okay, so kataba is madi or mudare?
Mati.
Madi. What is the meaning of kataba?
To read. He wrote.
He wrote. Ja'ala, he made.
Mm.
Kataba, he wrote. Now, when you go into mudare, the ain letter is the ta. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
I have intentionally left it empty with a haraka, and I said it is a bab nasara, and the short term is noon. Yes?
Yes.
On the ta, what haraka I should put?
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Brother Javed, let's one person at a time. Yeah? Jazakallah khair.
Yeah.
So Sister Umayma, what will be the haraka?
Dhamma.
Dhamma. So it's gonna be yak tubu.
Tubu.
Making sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Now next person, Brother Kabir.
Yes. Yes.
We have ghafara.
Yeah.
So this is, if you look at Madi, ja'ala, kataba, ghafara, it's the same thing as fa'ala, 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 right?
Yeah.
And we can have possible 3 combinations, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So this will be yagh,
Yagh rib.
daraba,
Yaghfiru.
yaghfiru.
Firu.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
Everybody understand this?
Yeah, Abid, I've got one question.
Yes.
For example, in this yakfiru, it
Yeah.
will always be a kasra on the field. There will be no chance of it just having a fatah on the fa or a dhamma on the fa. Never, right?
Okay, in the Quran, there are exceptions. So I cannot say that. I will touch on it in a next slide. I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
So, but our lookup material or resources are the dictionary and the Quran. If you want to know exactly what is going to go there, we have to consult with the Quran. For example, hasiba, it has also been used hasiba and hasaba or yahsaba. So there is a exception somewhere. Okay. So next question, and then we'll come back to this topic. Let me see who else is there. Okay, Brother Fawad. The next one I have is Rahima. Rahima means, Brother Fawad, are you there?
I won't say anything anymore.
He showed mercy, let's say. He showed mercy, right?
Yeah, he showed mercy.
Okay, so it is Bab
Yeah.
Sin, Samia. Yeah?
Yarhamu, he is merciful, or he will.
Yarhamu, right? It is going to be, because we said when is
Fatah.
fa'ila, how many possible iterations or patterns for mudare?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So that's yarhamu. Making sense? He shows mercy or he will show mercy. Next one, Sister Noor. Are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Brother Nabi.
Hasiba.
Two.
Okay, Sister Noor.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my question is to Sister Noor. So Hasiba is the Madi or Mudare?
Madi.
Madi. So what will be the Mudare?
Yahasibu.
Yahsibu. How do you know? Because if Bab Hasiba.
Bab has.
Bab Hasiba. Okay. Now next one. Brother Altaf.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So Karuma is another Madi variation. What is the possible Mudare?
Yakremu.
Yakrumu.
Oh,
Because
yakrumu.
when it is Dhamma, there is only one variation.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So based on this, is everybody saw that why we did this exercise? We actually continued from the last class where we saw a lot of tables about most of these words, and we did the table. We said, you know, ja'ala, yaj'alu, yaj'alani, or yaj'aluna. Remember those tables?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm trying to do an exercise that how do you recognize these? By this information, that you know the 3-letter word, you need to know the Mazi pattern, and you need to know the Mudari pattern, and your identification is from this, Ba Fataha. Okay? If I explain this in this form, I'm sure this will make sense. So, Madi, what can be the 3 possible patterns in Madi?
Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'ala.
Fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. Making sense? The ayn letter can only have 3 variations. Fatha, kasra, dhamma. But when we go to mudare, the fa'ala can be yaf'alu, yaf'ilu, yaf'ulu. Making sense?
Yes.
And then we call those variations by example. We say, okay, yafalu is fataha. Our, example pattern is fataha. Daraba, yafilu. Nasara, yafulu. Letter fa, letter dad, letter noon as a short. Is that making sense? Now this translated into this. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we have fa'ila, how many possibilities for mudare? Yafalu, yafilu. And in that case, 99.9%, Brother Javed,
يفعل.
99.9% is going to be the fatha, yafalu, when it's fa'ila. Okay? So I was
يفعل.
saying that in the Quran, in the dictionary, you will find sami'a, hasiba. But in one of the surah, it is also like yah, sabu. Making sense? Anna yahsabu malu akhlada. So it is possible that even though it's supposed to come with the kasra, but there is an exception that it could come with the fatha because Quran used it. Okay. Then what is the third variation? Faula, Madi. What is the mudare variation? Yaf'ulu. And for that, our example pattern is karuma. And the short will be ka. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that clear? Because if this is clear, I think our future goal will be very easy, inshallah. So let's see. Okay. So Sister Afia.
Yes, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. So Sister Afia, are you clear on this subject?
Inshallah.
Okay. So let's say verbally, what are the three patterns in Madi?
Fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ola.
Very good job. Then what are the possibilities for fa'ala in Mudari?
Three possibilities.
Yeah.
Yaf'alu, yaf'ilu, yaf'olu.
Yaf'ulu. How would you recognize them?
With bab, fataha, bab daraba, bab nasara.
Very good. So the dictionary will give you the root words, and then also in the bracket is going to say the letter fa, letter dad, noon, or it will say fataha, daraba, or nasara. Okay. Are you talking to me? Okay. So let's do some example here. That if we have a word, let's say called abada. What is the meaning of abada? What is the meaning of abada?
Worshipped.
He worshipped, meaning in the past, right? If I put a noon in front of it, all of a sudden, what information you got?
Bab Nasara.
Bab Nasara. Very good job. So Bab Nasara. Okay. So our task is from abada, how do we make mudare?
يعبد.
Okay. So I want to, that's right, but I want to show you that when you're using a piece of paper, if you have to convert a madi into a mudare, what steps you have to take. So first of all, you write down the word like this. Okay, no harakas. Then we know that for mudare you have to put ya. Yes?
Yes.
What haraka you supposed to put on the ya?
Fatah.
Fatha. And on the ain? Sukoon. And the last letter? Dhamma. So the only letter we are not sure about is the
Ain Ba.
ain letter, right? Now when I told you that is Bab Nasara, then it will be
Ya'budu.
yeah.
Dhamma.
Making sense?
Yes.
Right. Who's a little bit lost on this one? Anybody out there Who's lost on this one?
It should be called Bab Dhamma.
Yeah, not Bob. It's Bob Nasser. Anyhow, yeah, you could call it Bob Dama.
No,
Okay.
but we will like in future when we do Amar and Nahi, then it will be changed again. Like we can't say like Dhamma.
So when we come to Amar, we'll talk about it then. But right now, if this concept is clear, then only I would like to move forward. So let me see. All the mashallah, we have 16 people. Is everybody clear on this? The
Yes.
way, okay.
Yes.
Let's do another test, okay? And let me pick a person and then maybe they try and then we help them out if we need to. But just be quiet till I ask you to participate. So
Okay.
the next word is Ja'ala, okay? When I say Ja'ala, meaning is he made, right? And to help them, I said, okay, I need, this is Fa. Sister Zahra, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so when you see Sa, the Fa, what does that tell you? What Bab is
It's
it?
Bab Fataha.
Bab Fataha, Jazakallah khair.
Fataha.
Yeah, right? Fataha. Ha. Now I'm asking you to make Mudari.
Yes.
So what are you going to do? How do you make Mudari? First thing you do, you write the word without
First,
any harakas.
yes.
Yes? Now,
Yes.
Alamat Mudari is?
And then I add a ya.
Yeah. And what is the haraka on the ya?
It will be Fataha.
Fatha. Very good. The Jim.
Yeah.
What will be the haraka?
It will be Sukun.
Sukun. On the lam?
Sukun.
No, Dhamma.
It will be another.
Dhamma. No, Dhamma, right?
Yes.
But now we are concerned about the
Yes.
Ain letter. Now, based on the Bab, what is the haraka on Ain?
Fataha.
So, how would we say it? Yaj?
Alu.
Alu. The translation will become he makes,
Will make.
he is making, he will make. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay, mashallah. Okay, so let's take another word. Maybe I can use the same paper. And Sister Madiha, is she there? Are you there, Sister Madiha?
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, the word for you is Kataba. So this is obviously Madi, right? What is the meaning of Kataba?
A book he read?
He wrote.
No, he wrote.
Kataba means he wrote. And to help you, I give you this noon in the bracket.
Bab Nasra?
Bab Nasara. Bab Nasara. Yeah?
Yes.
Now your job is to make Mudari. So what are we going to do? What are the steps? We first we write the word without any haraka.
Ji, yes.
What is the alamat Mudari?
Yeah.
What is the haraka on Mudari?
Yeah, Fataha.
Fatha. And the kaf?
Kaf will be Sukun.
Sukun. And the last letter will be?
Fataha.
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Right? Now we are dealing with the middle letter, which is the Ain letter. Based on Nasara, in Mudari, what the haraka will be?
Dhamma.
Dhamma. Then it becomes Yaktubu. Yaktubu means he
will write.
Writes.
He writes.
He is
He's writing. He will
write.
He will write.
Is everybody able to see now the pattern, what I'm trying to do here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So another word. Let's say, who else is there? Brother Javed, you want to do one or you're good?
Okay, go ahead. I was quiet because you told me to be quiet.
Okay, that's fine. So for you, I have the word ghafara.
Okay.
Ghafara means he
Forgave.
forgave. And to help you, I said this is God. Okay.
Yaghfiru.
So what is the meaning? The bab, which bab is?
Daraba.
Bab daraba. Okay. So now you help me make it mudare. So what are we going to do? We're going to put
Ya.
ghafara without
Ghafara.
any haraka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Then
ya.
we're going to put ya.
Ya.
What is the haraka on ya?
Ya. Fatha.
And on
Sukun.
ghain, sukun,
Sukun. Kasra.
kasra,
And then yaghfiru.
yaghfiru. So what is the translation will be? He
He is
forgives.
forgiving. He will forgive.
Very
He
good.
forgives.
Okay. You got it, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see who else is there. So that I want to make sure that everybody understand this. Okay. Brother Kabir, would you like to do one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So for you, I have the word hasiba. Okay. So first of all, is it mazi or mudare?
Mazi
Mazi. And what pattern of mazi it is?
is fa'ila.
Fa,
Fa'ila.
ila. Yes. Okay. So help you out. I'm gonna say in the bracket it is ha. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Bab
how do we
hasiba.
make mudare? We're gonna put hasiba first
Yeah. And then
without any things. Then what we do? Put the
ya.
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 And what is the haraka
Fatha
on
on
the ya?
ya.
Fatha and ha.
Fatha.
Ha will be
Sakun.
sukun.
Sakun.
And the ba will be
Dhamma.
and sin
And
will
sin.
be,
Kasra.
what with the name? Yahsibu.
Yahsibu.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you understand how do we do things like this. Okay. Any questions? You want to do one more? Okay. Sister Fazilat, are you there?
Yes, brother.
Would you like to do one?
I'll try.
Okay. Trying is good. No problem. So let me try to do it right here on the top. Okay. So the verb is karuma. Yeah. And to help you out, I said in the bracket is kaf. Yeah. So what will be the mudare? How do we make mudare?
Put a ya before.
Ya before. Good. And what is the haraka on the ya?
Fatha.
Fatha. And the haraka on the kaf?
Sukun.
Sukun. And the meme?
Dhamma.
Dhamma. Then now the question is, what is the haraka on the ra? So before you answer that question, this is Madi, right? Karuma. What pattern is this? What is the Ain Kalima? What is the haraka on the Ain Kalima?
Fa'ula.
Faula. So what is the variation for Faula in Mudare? When it is Faula, what is the variation in Mudare?
Yaf'ulu.
No, yak, ru, mo. Because there's only
Yakrumu.
one variation.
One question.
There's only one variation, which is yak,
Oh,
rumu.
yeah.
Makes
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I
All
need
right.
some practice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why it's very important that we do some practice here.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay. Let's take a look at the time. So we are still good, 9:59. Are you finding this kind of exercise beneficial?
Yeah.
Yeah, very beneficial. Yeah.
So here again, we are going to do some translation first. Okay. So instead of jumping everybody in this, let me ask question and then you guys give me an answer from them. So, katabal muallimu ad-darsa ala saburati. Okay. So first of all, is it a verbal sentence or is it a nominal sentence?
Verbal.
Verbal.
Verbal sentence.
Okay. How do you know it's a verbal sentence?
Starts
It
with verb.
will start
Starts
with
with
the
the
verb.
verb.
Starting with the verb. Very good job. And kataba, does it sound like mazi or mudare?
Mazi.
Mazi. Okay, very good job. So what is al-muallimu?
The teacher.
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher. But in a verbal sentence, what is the pattern of a verbal sentence? We have the fail, then comes what? File.
Subject, object.
Very good.
File or
Brother Majid said it
maf'ul.
file. MashaAllah, he understands this. And then after the file, what else comes?
Maf'ul.
Maf'ul, MashaAllah. Then alas saburati. So the translation is the teacher wrote the lesson on the board. Okay, the translation is very easy. Kataba, he wrote. When we have al-muallim, is it zahir or is it hidden?
Zahir.
Zahir. So we're going to say the teacher wrote ad-darsa. What is ad-darsa? The lesson ala saburati. On what? Where did he write it? On the board. So who's the file here? Muallim.
Teacher.
How do you know that he's the file?
Dhamma. Because of marfu.
Dhamma.
Is
Why?
a rafa.
Because he's rafa. And ad-darsa, that's the nasab.
Nasab.
That is maful. How do we know from the previous lesson that rafa is the file, nasab is the maful? What is ala saburati?
Harf.
Mazid fi.
This is a,
Preposition.
it is a preposition. Yes. It's what? It is Jarul Majrur, right? Jarul Majrur. But what role is it playing in the sentence?
Just give additional information.
About who? About what?
About
Yes.
About the action.
About the action, right? That we are saying that the teacher is writing or the teacher wrote, but where? Where did he write? So we know that the action of writing is happening on the board. First of all, just by looking at this sentence, do you feel comfortable that you know the meaning already, even if I hadn't explained it to you?
Yes.
How many
Yeah.
people could read and see, understood the meaning?
I did.
MashaAllah,
Yes.
right?
Half.
It's a long sentence. Katab al-muallimu darsa ala saburati. Now the question is, how do I make mudare? So if we need to write the English translation first, we're going to say the teacher. Where is the da coming from? Al-muallimu wrote. Where did the road come from? Kataba. Then ad-darsa, the lesson.
Kataba.
Right? The lesson is ad-darsa. Ala saburati, on the
Board.
board. Okay? But now I want to say the teacher
Right.
writes the lesson on the board. So what are we going to do? We are going to take kataba.
Yak.
Oh,
Yak.
We're going to put the ya in front. What is the haraka on the ya? Fatha. Kaf will be silent. The ba will be dhamma. Okay, now in order to know what is the letter here, either by now you are good in memorizing and you already know that this is Bab.
Bab Fataha.
Nasara.
Bab Nasara.
Nasara.
So Kataba is Madi and it's going to be Yaktubu.
Tubu.
Making sense? And the rest is the same.
Yes.
Yaktubu al-muallimu ad-darsa ala-saburati. You see what the big picture here now? That when I wanted to say that he wrote, then I said kataba. When I wanted to translate then into present and future, so that the will mean the teacher is writing the lesson on the board, or the teacher will write the lesson on the board. Just by writing yaktubu, I can have these three possible scenarios. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and after this, we can also, maybe look at a Quranic verse, and you would understand the whole thing by yourself, inshallah. Okay. So the next thing is, I'm saying, and raise your hand if you know the meaning, and I want to see who knows. Shariba Zaidun al-ma'u al-barid fil kasi. What is the meaning? Anybody can explain to me? Shariba is what?
Drinking.
He drank.
He drank, right? Is it Mazi or is it Mudare?
Mazi.
Mazi. So he drank. Is it the file is which one?
Zahir.
Zahir.
Zaidun.
Zaidun.
Zaidun is file.
File.
Is it Zahir or hidden?
Zahir.
So we are gonna translate what? Zaid
Zaid.
Zaid
Drank.
drank.
the cold water.
The al-barid is cold.
Cold water in glass.
Al-ma al-barid. Al-ma
Cold water.
al-baridi, which
In the
means
glass.
he
Fil
drinks
kas in the glass.
cold water.
From the glass.
Fil
From.
kas is from the glass.
From the
From
glass.
the glass.
From the glass.
Or from the cup, right? Now, who's gonna help me make it mudare? So we're gonna write
Yashrabu.
Yes.
Sharaba.
Yashrabu.
We're gonna put ya here. And it's
Yes.
Yashribu.
Yashribu.
Yashriba. Yashriba.
Yashribu.
Ibu.
Yashribu.
Yashrabu.
Can I write? Not now.
Yashrabu. Or Yashrabu.
Yashrabu.
Yashrabu, because this is Bab what?
Samia.
This is Bab Samia. Okay. Yashrabu Zaidun al-ma'ul baridi fil kasi.
Cause.
That means Zaid drinks the cold water from the glass. He is drinking the cold water from the glass, or he will drink the cold water from the glass.
So, Abid, should it be mineral cast or should it be fil cast?
Fil kasi, yeah, that's it. Min, you ask very technical questions. You're right. It could be. I'm saying instead of me doing the translation from, then it should be min. It should be Zaid drink the cold water in the glass.
Yeah, and so
So fi is in. You're right. You caught me. This is basically from is min, and in is fi. Is that everybody can see that? So I should have translated Zaid drank the cold water in the glass. Making sense?
Yes.
Because if I change the fi with min, then the translation will he cold water from the glass. All right.
How do you know which
Yes.
Bab is it? What the real identifying feature there to tell you?
Okay. So remember, did you just join, brother Majid?
Sorry?
Did you just?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
no.
joined. You're right. I just joined.
Yeah. So I think you missed the beginning where I
Oh, okay.
actually went into this slide in a quite detail, and then I also said that you need to consult the dictionary by knowing the root letters and then looking at what pattern it is specified in the dictionary, and based on that pattern you know how to do the Madi and how to do the Mudari. Now in the beginning, like what we are doing right now, let's say by doing this practice more and more, I know some of this by my by my heart now, because I've been repeating it so many times. But some of you may have to go through this practice of writing on a piece of paper and then memorizing them, or still have a cheat sheet somewhere to look it up. Yeah. And if you remember
How do
last
you
time,
sort of really identify other than dictionary to know well?
the dictionary will give you 3 root letters, and
That
then
I understand. What I meant was that just looking at fell, how do you sort of relate to Bob? Any particular
okay,
identifier?
so for that you have to look at this. You have to look at this graph. Okay, so if I take the example of, where did he go? Shariba. Okay, Shariba is Mazi. I have to identify what Shariba looks like. Shariba is part of Fa'ila. Making sense? When I look at Shariba, Shariba is Mazi or Mudare?
Madi.
Mazi. So what pattern of Mazi it is on? It is the Fa'ila pattern. Yes? Brother Majid. Do you see Shariba at the pattern of Fa'ila? Brother Majid. I think he either he got disconnected, or Brother Majid.
I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm getting it. Yes.
Okay, so then I said the mudare can only have 2 possibility: yaf'alu, yaf'ilu.
Right.
Okay, so then we said yashrabu. That means it was on the pattern of yaf'alu.
Right.
And it is mostly 99.9% in the Quran.
Okay.
And the way we donate it, or the way we remember it, we remember Samia. Or short, in short, we remember seen.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So going back to this lesson here. So the next question I have, the next thing I want to talk about, we did this in Madi as well. I want to make this into a question now. Kataba al-muallamu darsa ala saburati. That the teacher wrote the lesson on the board. Now I want to ask a question which is with the answer. The answer could be yes or no. And for that, if you remember, we said there are 2
Hal.
alif and hal. Okay. In Madi, we put the ma in begins of when we are asking a question. Oh, sorry, not ma. Alif. Akataba al-muallamu darsa ala saburati. Did the teacher wrote the lesson on the board? Yes. So how do we do this thing? I will say ayaktubu al-muallamu darsa ala saburati. Did the teacher write the lesson on the board? Is that making sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So if it's a short question answer, I'm going to say alif, like a or hal. Remember that part, Brother Altaf?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the question marks. Now, what are the other ones? The other ones, remember, there is kaifa, there was hatta, there was aina,
Aina,
there was
man,
mata.
kaif,
So,
ayyukam, anna, lima.
yeah. So you remember those. So you can add those in front of them, but then it becomes a little bit longer answer. You have to give. So I would say, kaifa katab al-muallamu darsa ala saburati. How did he write? Then you will say he write with the marker or something. So you would be answer will be depending on more than yes or no answer. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when you want to make a question, you add the alif or the hal in the beginning, or those 6 or 7 words we learned. That's the only way, but nothing changes. Same stays the same thing. Mata, blah, 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 everything stays the same. What is the next thing we said? That how do we make negative? I want to say the teacher did not write the lesson on the board. How would I say that? I would add what?
Ma.
Ma in
Ma.
Madi. In Mudari is even easier. All you do, you put the la in front of it. So what it will become? La yaktubu. La yaktubu al-muallima darsa ala saburati. The teacher did not or does not write the lesson on the board. If you want to say the Zaid do not drink water from the cold water from the glass, how are you going to say? La yashrabu. Okay. Yakuluna ta'ama. What is yakuluna? They eat the food.
Oh,
Yes?
they eat, right?
They eat
Yeah,
because it's the ya.
Yes, present tense.
Yeah, yakuluna.
Plural.
So yakuluna ta'ama. They eat the food. If I want to say, do they eat food? What am I going to do? Yakuluna ta'ama. Then your answer could be na'am, or you can say la. If you say yes, they eat the food, you're going to say na'am. Otherwise, what are you going to say? La yakuluna ta'am. They do not eat the food. Is that simple enough?
Yes.
How do we feel about this, guys?
Right now,
Good.
Good.
MashaAllah. So, based on this, these are my notes. I've covered this. So, I have told you the translation, how do we write the mudare, and how the translation changes, how to make it a question, and then how to make it a negative. Okay? All right. So, based on this,
Abhishek, can you just show the page once again, please? The previous
which page?
one?
This one?
The last one, yes, please. Jazakallah
Yes.
khair. Okay, Jazakallah khair.
Okay. So, let's take a look at something else now.
Okay.
Inshallah, what I'm going to show you, it will give you a good feeling. That will be the result of your learning. Okay. So let's go share another screen and let's go here. And you read this surah pretty much every day in your salah. Okay. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Okay. Let's now analyze this. What is kafirun?
Disbelievers.
Is it a noun or is it a verb?
It's
No.
now.
Noun. Is what is the number of this noun?
Third.
What is the gender of this noun?
Male.
Male. Okay. Is it what person is it?
Third.
Third person
Third
plural.
person plural.
Okay. So kul, say ya ayyuhal. It is a harf nida. What is it called? Harf nida. When you want to call out somebody, you say ya Abid, ya Suleiman, ya Sister Noor. You know, this is how you call somebody. When you're calling more than one person, you say ya ayyuhal. Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Now say, who say? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Rasulullah that say to the disbelievers that, oh disbelievers, la abudu.
None.
I don't worship. I do not worship. We just looked at la, right?
Yeah.
What is abudu?
Worship.
I worship.
Okay. So, and then ma ta'budun. What is ma here?
What?
What?
That.
What? Ta'budun.
What? You worship.
You worship.
You are.
Okay. So, for example, if I switch my screen for a second just to give you a little bit more inside of this. So, remember I said abada, right? This is what?
Mazi.
Namaz.
He worshipped.
Worship.
Yes?
Yeah.
Now, I want to say
Ya Budu.
Ya budu. Then the next one will be this is the male third person, right? Male. What will be the second person?
Abudu.
Abudu.
What will be the first person?
Abid.
Abudu. Get it? If you go further down, let's forget about Musanna. What will be the
Tabuduna.
Tabu
Una.
du na? Okay, maybe I wrote it wrong, but we'll look at it. So if you go back to the lesson now, what do you see here? Abudu.
Abuduna.
So if you forget about the la for a second, what is the meaning of abudu? I worship. Ma means what? Tabuduna, you worship.
You worship.
Okay. So can you do the translation now? Say to the believer, to the disbelievers, La abudu ma tabuduna. I do not worship what you worship. Wala antum. What is antum?
You. Plural.
Abiduna. What is the meaning of abiduna?
Yes.
So
Okay.
third person.
Okay. So third person male, musanna, ya bidani, ya budani. Yes. Ya
Buduna.
ya buduna. They worship. Right?
So yeah, plural.
Yes.
So let's see what is what am I?
They worship,
Right.
not worshipped.
Okay. So again, wala antum abiduna. Abiduna will be
Worship.
sorry. Abiduna. How do we get abiduna? Worshippers. Abiduna is not. This is not the are the worshippers of what I worship. So abiduna is something else. It's a noun here. It's not a verb.
It's not fit.
Antum abiduna ma abud. Again, the la is to negate the mudare and abud is the first person. Now look at this. Wala ana abidum ma abattum. And I do not worshipper. I'm not a worshipper of what you worship. Abattum. Is abattum fil mudare or fil madi?
Mudare.
Abattum.
Worship.
Madi.
So it's present.
There is no sign of Muzare.
Okay. Well, who can do the table of madi? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Fa'alat, fa'alata,
Falata.
fa'alna.
Altum.
Fa'altu, fa'altuma, fa'altum.
Tum.
This is the second
Ma.
person,
Second person.
male for madi.
Mazi.
Abattum, you worship. Yeah?
Second person.
Okay. So, wala ana abidum ma abattum, nor will I be worshipper of what you worship. Wala antum abiduna ma abud. And not you are worshippers of what I worship. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. For you is your religion, or for me is my religion. You guys see the big picture here? Do you recognize or know most of it or all of it? Yes.
Yeah, most of it. But all.
So if you read this surah next time, will you be able to see what is the meaning of it without looking it up?
Yes. Inshallah.
Yeah.
How many people feel that way?
Inshallah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a big plus. Now,
Inshallah.
if we are limited right now, that is our own shortcoming because we do not practice enough. Yeah. So if we practice and again, I can only tell you from my example. I have a rule, and Alhamdulillah, I do not preach anything until I practice on it myself for some time. Because I've heard, that when you say something and you don't do it yourself, it's a bad thing. So I try to practice before I say anything to anybody. I practice that for a week, a month, 2 months, 6 months, and then I feel confident to tell you guys. I am telling you again, if you do 15 minutes on recitequran.com, even if you do not have this Arabic knowledge, when you read the translation, after a week or 2 or 3, you'll start to see a pattern and you'll start to understand a lot of words just by looking at the pages. That is my testimonial to you guys, that just by following or reading the Quran, watching the translation and trying to ponder on some of the words, I could start to see a pattern and I could translate maybe 2 or 3 words out of one long verse without even knowing any Arabic. So who is willing or ready to do that? That spend only 15 minutes. Instead of reading from the Quran next time, just sit on the computer or on your phone and open this website. Okay? Even the better one is this one. The reason I like this one, the Quran.com, because the beauty of this one is the words are hidden. For example, I want to go Al-Kafirun. All right, Kafirun, where is it?
109, up.
Yeah, right? So now the beauty of this one is the translation is here, but the word for word is hidden. So you have to point on it. Say, oh, disbelievers. La, not. Abudu, I worship. Ma tabudu, you worship. And then I have given you enough tools to practice this. And the third tool you had is this one. And in this one is even better because it can tell you exactly all the kafirun. Then you go here. And this one is telling me exactly what I need to know. Kul, second person masculine, singular, imperative verb. What is imperative? Fele amr. We haven't learned fele amr yet, but it is coming. Yes? Al kafirun, it's actually a noun. It's not a verb. Similarly, abudu is first person, singular, imperfect verb. Okay? Tabudun is the second person masculine, plural, imperfect verb. You guys see that how these different tools can really help you. And again, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. 10-15 minutes a day can make a big difference. The second testimonial I want to give you, which I have reminded you from time to time, is that right after Ramadan, I made a resolution and I shared that resolution with you, that in Ramadan, I realized that how much we are behind in the Quran recitation, or, when we are, because I had to read in Taraweeh myself. This Ramadan was different because we were doing all the Taraweeh in the house. So I realized how much work I need to do on the Quran. So what was my resolution? I right away start reading with the Sheikh. Do you guys remember that part?
Yeah.
So I told everybody that my recommendation is that enough is enough. We should connect with a teacher who can listen to us and who can correct us. Alhamdulillah, I am on juz number 4. Okay, and what am I doing? I am only reading one page to him on a daily basis. One page takes me personally, I'm supposed to read it like 30 times. The teacher says read it 25, 30 times before you call me. But I cheat, I don't have time, I'm a working man. So I read probably 5, 6, or maybe maximum 10 times. And that takes me 10, 15 minutes to recite that page myself 10, 15 times, one page. He's saying no quantity, just quality. So one page. And then I call him and he listens to me and we are done in less than 10 minutes. because he only corrects where I'm wrong, and then we move on. Okay, why am I telling you all this? Because most of us are in the same boat. So if we can take these steps or recommendations or testimonials as an encouragement to go to the next level, I hope that you see the big picture. And once you get into that pattern or that process, then you know the next thing which will automatically come in your mind or in your heart, or your heart will feel ready for, you'll start to memorize the Quran. Do you agree with me on this?
Yes.
Inshallah. So all I'm
Yes.
saying to you, I can only advise you what I have been doing, and I did not share this information, Allah knows, not to brag about myself. Allah forgive me that. Only for the purpose of encouraging you and giving you a roadmap that if you are really looking forward to improve your relationship with the Quran, you have to probably take these steps, or maybe the steps of your own way, which works for you, but we got to do something about it. Yeah?
Yes.
And I'm sure most of you are already doing better than me, alhamdulillah. Like Sister Afi, I always give her example. She's really ahead of us. She's like on Juz, Al-Maida or whatever. She's still, mashallah, ahead of all of us, right? One final word about the Quran class or the Arabic class I'm starting in Burnaby. I went there this Saturday, looked up at all the arrangements. So inshallah, the class will be available on Zoom, and some people will also be physically present in the masjid. Is a big hall. It's going to be like nobody will be close to each other in 10 feet. And inshallah, some bold people are going to be in the masjid. I myself will be conducting this class from the masjid. I'm not going to be conducting this class from home. So I'll be physically present in the masjid. And then 24 people have registered so far. Out of that was the number from last week. I'm sure it has grown a little bit now. Only 2 or 3 people chose to come to the class, but rest wanted to stay online. So, which is absolutely fine with me. The technology we have, inshallah, we'll be able to, convey the message. You will be able to see my picture because the class I'm conducting has a lot of sign language. So I have to be physically shown so that I can show the sign language. And most of you who have taken the class with me, first one, you know what I'm talking about. So we have to do the Huwa home practice, the TPI. Okay. So the reason for telling you all this is again, to encourage your family members, your brothers, sisters, your kids, or anybody you love, anybody you care about, to attend that class from the comfort of their own home. And this will put them on the track to learn Arabic like we put ourselves. That class was an icebreaker. That class gave us the encouragement that, Arabic is not that difficult. We can, inshallah, do this, right? So that was the icebreaker. So inshallah, that class will help a lot of people, inshallah. So who is marketing for me already?
I am, brother. Is there enough youth, brother Abid, have registered?
Youth is the hardest people to get, but if you can get some youth, especially your son, I will be very happy. Brother Kabir is one example. He registered both his daughters for that class. I'm convincing my daughter to bring 3 of her friends to join, because from home on Saturday.
That's why I told Harun maybe he can join, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. So please help. This is our duty, that we help our fellow Muslim brothers, sisters, to get them, if there is a resource present, then they should benefit from it. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Have a nice evening. Inshallah, we'll talk on Thursday.
Inshallah.
Please practice. Whatever you learn today, try to practice on your own time. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalam.